Hi, this is Jim Fury, aka Salerno, and today we're going to be taking a look at a wonderful piece of MIDI controller equipment called the Beatseqr. What is the Beatseqr, you ask? Well, here it is. Beatseqr, nice wood case, bunch of sliders, buttons, knobs. This is actually a handmade controller, handmade by Steve Cooley up in the Bay Area. Steve happens to be a very long time, very good friend of mine, so I was very honored that he wanted to get this into my hands so I could take a look at it and give my honest opinion of what I like and don't like about it. In this, I'm really just going to go over the basics of what this does, what the different areas of controls are, and then in a part 2 I'm actually going to show you how I'm using this in a studio environment. Steve designed this to be used in a live environment as a 16-step sequencer to be used with primarily a drum machine. I've actually had some fun using this with synths to sort of pre-program just little synth lines, which is kind of fun. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do a little video showing that off because it's a neat way to work with synth sounds. So really quick, what we have here, we've got 2 pots for controlling tempo and swing. We've got 8 sliders and 8 buttons which work together to control 8 different sounds that or note values that you can have assigned. We've got an area of 4 buttons here where you select any of 4 patterns which you can program yourself. Then you've got your standard 16-step sequencer. We're going to go ahead and get started here with the basics. I have this mapped to Ultrabeat, which is the easiest way to use this if you're in Logic. And this automatically maps to the first 8 note values in Ultrabeat, which is very nice, makes it very easy to get up and running quickly. I actually decided to change the note values of 2 of the items to get 2 different sounds. One was a different tom, and one was a different hi-hat sound than what was pre-mapped already. And right now I've got all these sliders hooked up to volume for each of the sounds. So with the sequencer, like a standard step sequencer, you can sort of select which sound you're looking at. It lets you know which steps it's being triggered on. This is a very simple pattern that I have set up. A little bit more going on this one. Very simple again. And this one's got actually quite a bit going on in it. This is a good pattern to show the tempo and swing adjust. Steve has designed this to have a fairly wide range of tempo. Go down to 90, which for most dance music you're not going to go too much slower. If you do need it slower than that, you can actually set it up to, twice that and then sort of half time it basically. So if you've got something you want to do at, say, 80 BPM, you can actually set this to be at 160 and then think of this as a 2-beat pattern instead of a 4-beat pattern. And then for you spastic types, those actually go all the way up to 200. Set this back to a reasonable 120. For swing, this will go from completely dry to basically anarchy if you want it to be. If you're not careful with the swing adjust, you could end up with some just mangled patterns. I'll go ahead and just set this back to a reasonable swing amount. So again, very simple to use. I'm going to go ahead and Go back to the second pattern that I set up here. Now you could be using this live and you're just getting a fabulous response from the audience, but they're not applauding enough for you. So since I do have a hand clap mapped to one of these sliders, I'm going to go ahead and add some hand claps onto this pattern. Just give myself some applause. So first we go ahead and select the clap sound, and then we can just sort of turn on where we want that hand clap to be triggered. I'm feeling much better about myself now that the audience actually appreciates what I'm doing. So we'll go ahead and turn those back off. Or if I wanted to leave that there for future use, I could just turn the volume down on that particular sound. Again, very easy. This is one of my favorite parts of this equipment is the sliders and the fact that I can very easily adjust the volume. And when you are doing this, using this in a DAW to record, your DAW will record these as MIDI events, which is very handy because you don't have to go through and hand adjust the volumes on each trigger that's being recorded in your DAW. And again, it is the basics, so we're going to go ahead and sign off right now. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here and walking through the Beatseqr. If you want to come back for part 2, I'm going to go ahead and show how I'm using this actually in Logic to lay down a more live feel for a drum track instead of the more antiseptic, sort of just pre-programmed sound if you're doing it by hand in Ultrabeat or whatever your drum machine of choice is. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in a few. Have a great day.